How is it possible that something can be considered medicine in almost half of the United States, but in the other half it is considered a crime? This is our relationship with marijuana in the United States. Whether you're a marijuana user or not, this topic is relevant to all U.S. citizens because it affects medical access to people who could need it, causes unnecessary arrests to people who otherwise have no criminal history, and is not safely regulated for recreational use. To prepare, I have researched the medical benefits of marijuana, federal laws around it, and the statistics of possession arrests around the nation. Today I will be discussing why marijuana should be federally legalized. First, I will discuss the problems of marijuana being federally illegal. Second, I will discuss how these marijuana laws affect us. And finally, I will talk about how federal legalization will benefit our society. The first problem with marijuana being federally illegal is that the laws around it are inconsistent from state to state. Marijuana is currently legal in 24 states, but in the other 26 states, thousands of people are getting arrested and charged for just possessing it. This means that if you're in a legal state, you can carry it around without even thinking about it. But as soon as you leave it to an illegal state, you are committing a crime. These arrests are not just annoying inconveniences either. They can end up affecting your job market, housing, and education. Basically, following you around for the rest of your life. On top of that, marijuana-related arrests have been proven to target minority groups. The second problem is that there are many patients who struggle with PTSD, anxiety, chronic pain, and more that could benefit from being medically prescribed marijuana, but they are being denied access because of the state they live in. The last problem is that marijuana is not legal federally, and even in the states that it is legal, there are no regulations for testing for the ingredients or purity, which can lead to safety issues because there's no way to trust what you are ingesting. So now that you understand the problems of marijuana being federally illegal, I will discuss the real consequences these problems lead to people around the country. The idea of these problems are bad, but the reality of the consequences are even worse. According to the American Civil Liberties Union, African Americans are almost 4 times more likely to be arrested for marijuana possession than white Americans. These arrests lead to many detrimental impacts on a person's life, limiting job opportunities, making it harder to get housing, and making it harder to get student loans. This cycle continues to promote and create inequality between races that has existed since America was born. Second, the implications of a patient not receiving medical marijuana when they could heavily benefit from it, can be very serious. According to the National Academies of Science, Engineering, and Medicine, cannabinoids have been proven to provide significant relief for patients who are going through chemotherapy, chronic pain, PTSD, and other conditions. If a patient is not able to receive this medicine for relief because they live in a legal state, they are forced to make the hard choice of either breaking the law or continuing to suffer. This often pushes people to opiates, which have way worse implications than cannabinoids and at the very least can lead to addiction. Lastly, there are no federal standards for testing for marijuana use, and users all over the country have no idea what they're putting in their bodies. This is worse in illegal states, but still a problem in legal states, especially when it is being marketed as safe and legal. Although recreational use is not essential, it still puts millions of users around the country at risk. So the criminalization of marijuana is not just an annoying inconvenience, but has real-life consequences and jeopardizes our safety and equality. With all of these problems and implications, there are solutions that can help. First of all, I believe the federal government should end criminal charges for having possession of marijuana. This will not only prevent unfair punishment for something that is completely legal in almost half the country, but also prevent the lifelong implications that these arrests lead to. Second, marijuana needs to be removed from the Schedule 1 of the Controlled Substances Act. Schedule 1 is for drugs that have no medical value, and marijuana has been proven to have many medical benefits. This would allow many patients who are suffering to find relief. Finally, the federal government should create standards for how marijuana should be grown and tested similar to any other substance that is sold. This would provide clear details and knowledge of what people are consuming. To conclude, I spoke about the problems of marijuana being federally illegal and how this affects our nation negatively. Many different groups of people are being heavily affected by this, and the benefits of legalizing marijuana outweigh the minimal negatives. Hopefully, one day soon, people will no longer be in jeopardy for possessing marijuana and receive something that is already legal in almost half of the United States.